morning, YouTube. Master X5 here. Just doing a quick update. This won't be a very long video. I know I keep saying I'm gonna start the channel up again, but you know, this time I think I'm serious. I want to do a video on ownership update on my Mazda 3. It's been almost 6 years since I purchased her now. I got her in 2015. Near the end of the year, because she was last year's model. They had the 2016s out, so I got a discount. So I bought her in 2015, and it's 2021. So it'll be 6 years in October that I've owned this car. And spoiler alert, I'm still driving her. Great car, very happy. Do not regret the purchase. But I'll do a video where I'll go into more detail about any gripes I have, anything I wish was different about the car, if I would buy the car again, if I was in the same situation, and you know, all that. Just do a quick update. I will say I have had a couple of issues since the last video, very minor. One being that the touchscreen gives me problems now on hot days. And it seems to be like an issue with temperature gradients. So when it's really hot and then I turn the AC on, after maybe 30 seconds to a minute, I start to get random touchscreen presses near the bottom right here. It's like something keeps touching it there. And thankfully it doesn't happen when it's driving, so it disables the touchscreen. But when I'm sitting at a light or something, it's really annoying, so it'll start skipping or pausing music, and if I'm on the maps, it'll start clicking stuff. But, so that's annoying. Doesn't happen all the time, but like I said, on hot days, it's pretty consistent on really hot days, which today is going to be a really hot day, so it'll happen on my way home from work, guaranteed. But, so there's that. Minor issue. I can usually just put it on a screen that doesn't have anything to be pressed down here once I get everything set up, and it's not a huge deal, but it's still annoying. I know there's a mod I can do to disable the touchscreen, which is probably what I'm going to do, because realistically I don't use it much anyway. I mainly just use the control knob, which is great. Works fine. Will make putting in addresses into the GPS slightly more of a pain, but whatever, not a big deal. So that's one problem. Just started a few months ago. No, 2 months ago maybe. Other problem I have is intermittent, and the dealership wasn't able to diagnose it. And that's I'm getting a screeching sound coming from the front driver's side wheel when I turn left at speed. So like long sweeping turns. But it's just kind of an annoyance. Dealership looked at the suspension, the wheel bearing, nothing looks bad, so there's got to be just some, I don't know, some crap stuck in the brake pad or something like that. I'll probably have to take the brakes apart. And that's intermittent too. It's not doing it this morning, but the other day it was doing it all the time. So, two minor issues. Those have been the only problems I've really had, other than the speakers going out early in the car's life. But this isn't a video about the problems with the car, so it's making it sound like the car is a piece of crap. It's really not. It's had very minor issues over the life. But yeah, so it's been a good car. If you can tell, which I mean, probably not, because I haven't posted a video in forever, but I am on a different road than I usually record on. And I'm still on my morning commute. I still work at the same place, which I will not name here, but I moved. Still living pretty close to my old place, but my morning commute's just different because I live in a different location. I live more in the country now. It's a little more rural. In the commute, even though distance-wise it's longer, it's really nice. I mean, as you can see, I've been on a 55-mile-an-hour road the whole way so far. I end up going through a little town up ahead and then hopping on the freeway, and that's my commute now. Same freeway I used to. You'll see, or you won't. I don't know if this video will be that long. Not really planning on this being a super long video, but yeah. So we moved. and it's been nice out here. We're on a really huge hill, have a nice view. I've always liked more rural areas. I'm not a city person at all. When I was really young, we lived in the city, but moved out of there when I was 5 and lived in the suburbs most of my life. And I like woods. I like seeing green. I like having places to walk. So happy to be living out here. But that's basically all I have. I don't have any particular topics to talk about. I will mention that I no longer own any motorcycles. I don't know if I had mentioned that in the past videos, but yeah, I sold the Daytona. I think I sold it before my daughter was born, a little over 2 years ago. It might have been after, but pretty sure it was before, after a couple of close calls when I realized I need to stop screwing around. And I sold the Dual Sport maybe a year after because I just wasn't riding it a ton. And the main time I have to ride is on my commute, right? Like I don't have a lot of time just to go out and ride. But I would ride on my commute to work. And my commute to work is mostly highway. In my Dual Sport, being an XT250, air-cooled 250 engine with, I don't know, like 18 horsepower, I want to say. It really struggled on the highway. It was not a fun commute. I'd be laying down on the tank, trying to stay as tucked in as possible because it would noticeably increase my top speed by 1 or 2 miles an hour, just to do an indicated like 75, 76, which I think was actually closer to like 68 because everyone was flying by me. So it was a horrible commute. Bike just sucked for it, so I sold it, and I just don't have any bikes now. And I mean, hell, actually, let's just talk about that. See, I thought it was going to be a short video, and I lied. So, do I miss having a bike? Yeah, I do. Do I regret selling them? Not really. I don't know, I guess I'm getting older. But to me, the risk versus reward ratio just isn't there anymore. I know and I've heard of too many people who've been maimed or killed on bikes, and I don't trust myself, especially on crotch rockets. Like, mentally, I know what I'm doing is dangerous, but when I'm on it, you get the adrenaline addiction, and it's just too much fun to go fast. And it's fun, but it got to the point where I would get off the bike and I would just think, what the hell am I doing? I have a daughter, and even regardless of that, you know, I like being in one piece. You know, I have other hobbies aside from motorcycles, and I can't really, like, you know, exercise or practice martial arts or go hiking or shooting well if I'm maimed, if I'm missing a limb or paralyzed or something. So I mean, I don't really regret getting rid of the bikes, honestly. I am considering getting a dirt bike or something just to mess around off-road, but even then, the risk of injury is still there. It's not quite as great. It seems like most dirt bike accidents, I say most, I know you can't get hurt very badly or die, but usually you just end up breaking something or straining something or getting a concussion. It's much less likely you're gonna, you know, be involved in a high-speed collision on a dirt bike and end up, you know, really badly injured or killed. So considering a dirt bike, but the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of like, don't overly care. And yeah, so at this point in my life, I do not regret selling the bikes, and I don't have too much intention on buying another one. For most of the year, I was kind of considering it, like, oh, maybe I'll buy a cruiser or a naked bike in a year or two and start riding again. but the longer I go without riding, it seems like I just don't overly care. I mean, that's not to say I don't have days where I'm like, man, I wish I had a bike, but so yeah, no longer have a bike, and the Mazda is my only vehicle still. She's not the fastest car out there, but she's still fun to drive. And with my long commute, having good gas mileage is definitely beneficial. So I'm commuting like, I don't know, I want to say it's like 24 miles each way, or 28 miles or something. So I mean, I'm burning basically a gallon of gas in the morning and a gallon at night almost, probably slightly less. Because I tend to average about 27 to 28 miles to the gallon, just because of my lead foot. So I'm taking it pretty easy this morning, so, and in general, I don't drive quite as hard as I used to. I am getting an electric scooter, because that'll be fun just to tool around town on and explore on. But, yeah, that is pretty much it. Okay, we're going to open it up a wee bit. That is why I don't get 30 miles to the gallon. But anyway, guys, it was good chatting with you. I'm gonna try to make more videos, and I already have another one planned, being the 6-year ownership update of the Mazda 3. And we can look forward to that in the next month or so. Might even be in the next couple weeks. I was actually debating recording it today, but it's been so long since I've recorded anything. Most of my camera batteries were dead. I had to scrounge up one for this camera. But I want to do some shots with my 4K camera, and battery's dead with that, so that's charging right now. So maybe tomorrow, if I'm motivated, or sometime next week, I'll do the 6-year, I'll record the 6-year video. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and talk to you later. Motormaster X5 out.